High Court order has shaken up the Transport Department. Now, days after the High Court shredded the department for running a completely illegal drive, now the Transport Department has decided that the drive will resume after framing a policy based on High Court's order. But this raises the important question. Why was this drive carried out if there was no policy? Will those responsible for these actions, the Air and Delhi bureaucrats that is, be held accountable? And the Transport Department has halted the drive to impound and scrap overage vehicles after the High Court order to release vehicles which had been towed away without any notice. Ishika, my colleague, joins me live on the broadcast for more details. Ishika, just to draw things into perspective for our viewers as well, this has been a mirror now impact. In fact, you're one of our reporters who's been continuously tracking this for us. You've spoken to multiple aggrieved citizens. Talk to us about the latest of this impact as well.
Well, certainly, Nivedita, as you rightly pointed out, we have been doing an extensive coverage on Mirror Now under the campaign of Old Car, Not Bekaar, bringing the voices of those people who were badly affected when this drive was going on. And now, as the impact of our story, now two major developments that have come in. First, the Transport Minister writing to the department to hold this, drive and come up with a new policy, as well as the High Court's order. Now, I am being joined with the citizens here. I'll go across to them. Sir, first of all, my question to you is, so two major developments have now come in. The Transport Minister writing to the department to hold this, whole drive and come up with a new policy, also mentioning that this drive did not have the government's permission. And second, of course, the Delhi High Court's order. Sir, how do you see these developments?
The Delhi Transport Department was towing away the vehicles of the residents of Delhi without any prior approval or without any notification. The residents were facing a lot of problems. They were emotionally attached to the vehicles. They were expecting to sell the vehicle at a higher rate. But the Transport Department just were uplifting the vehicle from their houses without any compensation or a very low compensation. So this drive, which the Delhi Transport Department was continuing, now the minister is saying that the Delhi Transport Department did not have any approval from him. So we would like to ask the Transport Department why were they continuing the drive without the approvals.
So certainly investigation should also be done as to why, under the nose of the minister, this drive was happening for so many months.
Yes, the investigation should be there, that without the approval of the minister, Transport Minister, how was this drive was being carried out. Further, the Transport Department had towed away so many vehicles, older vehicles had stopped plying on Delhi roads. So we also demand or request the Transport Department, to give us the data as to what impact that those vehicles not plying on the road has made on the environment and the pollution in Delhi.
Certainly. Now the Transport Department is saying that after the High Court's order, they are ready to come up with a new policy, and that is when they will resume the drive. So my first question to you is that what do you think, what suggestions should they this time take into consideration before framing a policy?
I think it's very fair that they should, include the citizens this time if they're coming up with a new policy or some new kind of framework, that they should, take suggestions and advice from citizens that as to how this should be done. Maybe they should be given a prior notice of 10 or 15 days so that they can try to sell their vehicles on their own outside the Delhi state. Maybe if the Delhi state is not happy with the current regulations or the number of the age of the car, so that customers are compensated properly. Obviously they should be compensated, the citizens who are already suffered with the citizens with the cars that has their vehicles that are sold without any prior notice, so they should be compensated. And thirdly, I read that Transport Department announced that no such drive was done under their supervision or under their notice, so maybe they should look into that as to who and why these drives are done. Maybe an investigation should be carried out on that basis.
So Nivedita, as you heard the voices of the citizens, they continue to say that if now the minister is saying that this did not have the government's approval, then certainly investigation needs to be done in that matter. And also now when the Transport Department is coming up with a new drive, now before doing that, they should fully compensate, those citizens who have already suffered when the drive was going on. Over to you.
Right, Ashika, I appreciate you getting us more voices as far as this is concerned. But